What's up, world? This is Rant America. Recently, the news has been abuzz over Colorado's legalization of marijuana, which is big news, but instead of reporting about it, I feel like they're broadcasting doomsday. One report after the other. It's marijuana is terrible for your kids. Lock up their... Oh, I don't even know how to create a decent metaphor for this. It's all ridiculous. It's fear-mongering. And thus the witch hunt begins. If there's one thing the news is good at, it's misinformation and fear-mongering. Marijuana, or cannabis, is a plant. If you didn't know. So why is it that so many people care whether it's legal or not? This has been a big hot issue that you've probably heard about if you're from America, and it's been going on for a long time. I mean, we have alcohol and cigarettes, and those are both considered drugs, and they seem to kill people too. In general, we have a lot of laws to protect people from themselves, as ridiculous as that sounds. So in a sense, helping people out from the government's eyes is putting them in jail, where they belong. Of course, I'm trying to be sarcastic to emphasize how much I disagree with the idea that you have to sacrifice freedoms to get security. The leading argument against marijuana or cannabis is that it is a gateway drug, which means that it will lead people to do much harder drugs. You start off with a little marijuana, you end up with heroin, crack, cocaine shoved in your face. And that's happiness, people. Happiness. But overall, this view is a speculation, not a fact. Some interesting facts about marijuana, for example, it is harmful for the body. Obviously, if you inhale smoke into your lungs, it can cause cancer. Bad stuff. Also, smoking marijuana and driving, pretty bad choice too, just like drinking and driving. But the most interesting fact about marijuana is that you can't overdose on it. Unlike other drugs, alcohol, you can overdose on it. You can drink too much alcohol and die, get alcohol poisoning. Why is that considered legal and not marijuana? I mean, obviously cigarettes cause deaths, which makes you wonder whether or not safety is the priority with these laws or not. People are still going to buy marijuana whether it's illegal or not. Much like people buying alcohol during the Prohibition era, people will buy what they want, whether we can't stop them from consuming the products they want. One thing that is guaranteed by illegalizing drugs is that it will create crime. And an unfortunate blowback from creating illegal drugs is that it will create crime. Much like Al Capone from the Prohibition era, we have today cartels that profit off of the illegalization of marijuana. For example, El Chapo, which I'm probably mispronouncing, is considered the 67th most influential, most powerful, most rich man in the world in Forbes magazine. What needs to happen with this situation of drugs is we need to acknowledge the fact that people are going to do drugs whether it's legal or not. And we should take the time to create programs that help people understand the drugs as opposed to demonizing them all. Because some are much more harmful than others. Marijuana, I feel, is not as harmful as others. Alcohol, I think, is a lot more harmful to a society than marijuana is. If we can make the argument that marijuana is a gateway drug, why can't we make the argument that cigarettes or alcohol isn't a gateway drug too? Let's be consistent with our criticism of our drugs, people. But I really like the idea of creating services for people to spread awareness about drugs. Sites like Ask Frank, for example, are really good about spreading awareness by giving testimonials, telling you what drugs do, what it's like to be on them, without being criticized for even bringing up the question. Drugs can be good, but like anything, if you abuse it, it will hurt you. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to this rant. Please leave a comment or two below. Oh, especially if you disagree with me. I know I'm wrong about a lot of things. Let me know what I'm wrong about. LSD is horrible. I've tried it and it really fucked me up. Don't do LSD. This is my personal testimony. LSD is fucking terrible.